Hello everyone, my name is Fernando Ruch. I am a Salesforce Certified Architect at Develocy, and today we are going to see how ShopperContext API works. With ShopperContext API, we can set any context information as key value pairs and use it to retrieve personalized promotions, shipping methods, and payment methods. Salesforce will evaluate this context against customer group definitions to determine the customer group for us. ShopperContext is supported by Okapi and B2C Commerce API, or SCAPI. The context is valid for 1 day for guest customers and 7 days for registered customers. We prepared a full Postman collection that you can use it and set in your own instance and tested the ShopperContext API. Let's see. Before we start on the Postman collection, there are 3 requirements to work with ShopperContext API. The first one, we need a /GWT token, and you need to ensure that your client ID has this scope added to it. So here on my client ID, I already have it. And on Postman collection, first I will get the /token. And the last requirement, we need to enable the ShopperContext in our business manager. And to do that, you need to go to administration and go to feature switches. And then look for enable ShopperContext and flag it. Okay? So with that, ShopperContext should work on your instance. Okay? And to proceed, before I go to the Postman collection, we can set the customer group. And I already prepared 2 of them here. I created one customer group for desktop users and another one for mobile users. Let's take a look on it. And here I already created a session custom attribute called device type. It should be equal to desktop. So here I select the session custom attribute and then I set device type is equal to a string desktop, just to test. And the same thing I did for mobile. So remember that ShopperContext is session based, right? That's why I'm using session custom attribute here. I also set a campaign called ShopperContext API. It can be any name, any ID. I just created with this name just to be clear. I didn't set any start date or end date, and I already add here 2 promotions, one for desktop and another one for mobile. Here I set the customer groups that I created before, right? So just take a quick look on those promotions. Here it's saying 10% off for any product with price higher than 1 cent. Okay, for desktop. And for mobile is 50% off for any product with price higher than 1 cent. Okay, both promotions are associated with the campaign ShopperContext API. That's all the configuration we need on Business Manager. Let's take a look on the Postman now. Here is the Postman collection that we are going to share with you. And we have also a ShopperContext API environment where you are going to need to set your client ID, the organization ID, the shortcode, the redirector URI. In this case, I'm using Mobify Storefront, and the site ID, the product ID, the locale, and the last ones here you can leave empty because the steps here will fill it for you. Okay, so first let's take the slash guest off. Okay. Now let's get the token. Here we have the token. And here we have US ID, Unique Session ID. This is the key that we are going to use to create our context. So let's go to the second step here and create the context. So here I'm using Scapi, so ShopperContext here, and I'm passing the US ID and passing also the site ID as parameter. Here on the body, we can pass the custom qualifiers, that is the key value pairs. We can set anything here. We can pass like country code, like US, for example. So we can build anything you want here, like an object. So for this example, I'll just use the device type that I already created on my instance. So let's set that this session, and it is a mobile device. So let's set it. Okay, it returned created for us. There's no return, nobody. And let's get it just to check. So the API is already returning for us the device type is mobile. And now let's get a product. And if I scroll down here, I can see product promotions with the promotional price and the promotion ID mobile, and also the callout that I set it, promotion for mobile users. I can also update this and say, let's say that now this customer is a desktop. So I updated, this time it returned for us the same object. And now let's get the product. And now the product promotions is desktop, promotion for desktop user, and change the price. We can also delete this context. So let's delete and call the product again. Now we don't have any promotions applied. So this is how ShopperContext API works. I hope you enjoyed it. Follow us and let's keep in touch. Thank you.